EduTechGuys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.
Hello and welcome to EduTechGuys Radio, brought to you by Southwest Arkansas Education Cooperative and Hope Public Schools, both in Hope, Arkansas. It's good to be back in our home studios. I'm David Henderson.
And I'm Jeff Madlock, and I disagree. It's 46 degrees outside, cloudy and rainy. David has a cold, and I miss the warm, sunny, beautiful skies of Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, touche. On second thought, we're going back to Savannah.
Savannah was gorgeous.
It was, man. It was awesome. We had a great time. For those of you that hadn't followed along, we were in Savannah for the AESA conference, and we did live broadcasting for two of the, I guess technically we were there 4 days. The first day we were there for a pre-conference, which was phenomenal. All about helping education service centers become entrepreneurial and things to think about and consider as they roll out new programs and services and products. And then we broadcast live for 2 days. And then on Saturday, we did a quick, kind of like a TED Talk thing. They called it ESA Talk. And that was awesome. That was a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really great. And our last little TED Talk thing was a lot of fun. And we had a great trip. The interesting thing was we had to get up at the butt crack of dawn on Tuesday. But every flight we got on, we got our own row. So David and I had our own 2-seat row to ourselves.
Yeah,
for all the flights
out.
Yeah, it was really nice. And then on the way back, we actually got that on one flight, and the other flights the seats were really nice. They were kind of spaced well, and we didn't have a bad flight.
No, it was good.
Yeah, the trip in whole, and if you've never been to Savannah, Georgia, what a wonderful city.
Holy cow.
The city's really nice.
Yeah, we'd never been there before, and it's just, we went out after the show each evening and walked around, found something to eat, walked along. They don't call it the river walk, whatever they call their
Riverfront Drive or something like that.
Yeah. But man, that was so cool. And then of course when you get into Savannah and you're walking around those historic squares that they have and all the historical buildings, and of course there's food and shops and stuff everywhere. It was very cool. Savannah's a really neat place.
Well, and it was a great place to have AESA, and the conference itself was really, really good. All the keynotes were spectacular. We had a lot of guests come by the booth and do interviews with us.
Yeah.
We got to meet all the bigwigs and talk to them and get their take on the conference and the importance of the organization and what's happening. But yeah, we'll jump out to that real quick.
Okay, sounds good.
We were lucky enough to get to not only interview the current president, which was Jerry Mays.
Mm-hmm.
We got to interview the upcoming president, the president-elect for AESA, Jeff West. And Jeff is from Nebraska.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. He's from the western, largest area covered ESA, 14,000 square miles.
Yeah.
That's a big area.
Yeah, it's the
panhandle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're looking at Nebraska, it's the little part that sticks out on the left. Generally looked at a map.
Yeah. But he's going to be the upcoming president for AESA. So we had a good sit down with him. Hey, just a quick interview. He can probably tell the story better than we can, and we had a nice little talk. So take a listen to Jeff West, president-elect of AESA 2017.
I'm Jeff West, and I'm the president-elect, and I'm from ESU 13 in Scottsbluff, Nebraska, which is the entire panhandle of Nebraska, 11 counties.
And so we got to, we found out, we know Ray Richards. Ray came on last year and was one of our guests when we were in New Orleans. And so we said, hey, we know who your boss is, and can you do us a favor?
Absolutely.
But it's really interesting. This is my second AESA. David's come to many.
I've been, yeah.
I work for a school district in David's, in Phoebe Bailey's.
Oh yeah, Phoebe.
Yeah.
So Phoebe's our boss.
She's fabulous.
And but I have to tell you, this is a wonderful organization. So what's it like knowing you're about to helm this massive, great family?
Well, first of all, it's an honor. and a privilege to be asked to serve in that position. But I think the best thing about AESA is I think you feel it when you come to the conferences and you're around the people that are here, that it's really kind of a family, kind of a home. They're there to support you, they're there to help you. It's not, kind of a stiff, cold organization. It's really a very welcoming, warm, family kind of atmosphere. I think you feel it when you go to sessions, when you come to the conference. I think people are helpful. They go out of their way to talk to you. So I think that's different from other organizations that I belong to.
And it's really interesting. We went to the regional breakfast this morning, and I'm always impressed that last year was, like I said, my first one. This organization is constantly striving to make it better for themselves and their sister agencies around the United States, and their schools and the students. And everything comes down to, what are we going to do to make it better for the students? And I noticed you're exactly right. It's like a family affair. It's like we all get together and go, okay, here's our problems. Now how are we going to fix them?
Yeah, and I think we're willing to listen. You can see that kind of in our redesign that we went through as an organization, which is, I think it hadn't happened for 20 years. So it was time. And so part of that redesign is, how do we do outreach? And how do we make sure that we're strengthening our state networks, that we're strengthening regional networks, conversations, just like you saw at the regional breakfast.
Right.
And the kind of feedback we have, the kind of input we have, we were collecting all their suggestions and ideas. And so I think it's, how do we make sure that the National Association still meets the needs of why we're here, which is our regional ESAs, and then eventually schools and kids.
Right.
But yeah, the focus really is about learning and student achievement, and then how do we help?
Yeah. So talk to us about your specific ESA, some of the things you guys are doing, some of the things that you're really excited that your team is coming up with, and the services you guys are offering.
Yeah, I'd love to. We're unique in Nebraska in that we're required to do certain things, all 17 ESUs. But then there are different things that each of us do based on what the needs of our schools are. So in our area, for instance, we have an alternative ed school where school districts contract to send kids to our alternative school. We have an online virtual high school so that they can have access to classes anytime during the day. If it doesn't fit into their schedule, some of the more rural schools have one math teacher. They can teach calculus at this time. If you can't take calculus or pre-algebra or algebra 2 or whatever when it's offered, then they can take those courses from us.
Yeah.
So we offer that. We also just recently were awarded the Head Start grant, early Head Start grant for the entire Panhandle, which was a big change for us. That was not something that was on our radar, but there were some partners who came to us to say, Jeff, would you be willing to do this at ESU 13? Or really, is anybody else who we think can do it as well as you? If you don't do it, somebody else is going to get the grant from another state that doesn't understand Nebraska.
Right.
And so that was very different for us and unique, and a change that you won't see in any other ESU across the state. Recently, having conversations about a day treatment center, regional day treatment center, because we just have certain needs in the Panhandle, but there aren't a lot of kids and a lot of problems, but there are just enough that, how do you make it efficient?
Sure.
When instead of having 100 kids that you can draw into a particular program, we maybe have 15 or 20 spread out over thousands of kids.
Right. Well, and I would think that is a very big and unique challenge. It's very different to have 100 students in a very populous area versus, like you said, 10 or 12. And I think it was key that you brought up, I don't know how most people envision Nebraska when they envision Nebraska, but when you talk about it, and as Mr. Richards was talking about it earlier, and you talk about you're in the Panhandle, you're in the quote unquote little square of Nebraska. That little square is thousands of square miles.
14,000 square miles. It's
on your map, yes, it's this big, but so and so I think that's. It really has got to be a challenge when you've got a very small number of students spread over this large area. How do we reach all of those students so that they get the services they need?
It really is about almost a kid for every square mile. So, about 14,000 kids, 14,000 square miles. We have 3 offices. You can drive from one end of my region to the other. It takes you about 4.5 hours to drive without stopping. Our fleet of vehicles just keeps growing. We have, I don't know how, probably have 40 or 50 cars in our fleet. I have to add 3 cars a year because that's how fast we're running them out of the other end.
Sure.
Because we'll put on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of miles in cars every year. So we use technology a lot.
Yes.
Just to overcome that obstacle of time in the car. Because obviously, as you know, when you're contracting with schools, the ticker's running, and so schools aren't really all that wild about paying your people 2 hours in the car to get to them. Then they spend a couple hours with the kid, and then you're paying 2 hours back home again. So they're paying for 4 hours to get 6 hours of service.
Right.
And so how can we use technology to better serve kids and our schools more efficiently at a cheaper cost?
Right. Well, which brings us to your distance learning.
Yeah, it's huge for us.
It's huge for you guys. And I think it's really amazing how you're providing the needs for a plethora of students' needs.
Yeah.
Because you've got a lot. Even with just 14,000 in that range, though, that's a lot of different needs that you're definitely filling by the services that you're offering.
Yeah, and our schools are very supportive of the use of technology. They actually came to us and said, we'd like you to utilize it more.
Right.
You know, for my advisory meetings with superintendents, we used to drive to Scottsbluff, which is our central office, and they would drive from all over the Panhandle to that meeting. Well, can't we do distance learning, and let's do it every other week? So, and then they would say the same thing for professional development. Why is it that our folks have to drive to Scottsbluff? Can't we use a bridge? Can't we use Zoom? Can't we use some of these other things?
Right.
Because our folks can't miss that much work to come to meetings at Scottsbluff.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that we're just like, they came to us and said, we really need you to really push the envelope when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
And so now we do.
Awesome. Well,
That is awesome.
Our opinion, the insight that AESA has to bring in a president-elect with your insight to keep moving this organization forward is what keeps this organization at the top of its game.
Well, I always learn more from them than they'll learn from me. It's a real honor for me to be around people who have such passion for what they do, and I learn a lot every time I'm with them.
Hey, that was Jeff West, the president-elect of AESA for 2017. It was really great to sit down with him. And next year, we should be with them in San Antonio.
Yeah. That'd be
That's
awesome.
where the national conference will be held for the 2017 year.
Yes.
And San Antonio, Texas, the same bat channel, same bat time, that first weekend in December.
Yeah.
And next year, the focus and the theme is on poverty and equity.
Yes.
So it'll be a really good conference. I don't think people realize how much influence educational service agencies have on public education and how much they're kind of the first level of defense for public education.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, generally speaking, education service agencies kind of fly under the radar. So most folks, haven't even heard of them or don't know what they are, but they serve as sort of the go-between for whatever state and sometimes federal initiatives are coming down the line. The ESAs will serve as the liaison and or the go-between, the filter if needs be, between those government agencies and the school districts themselves. And it's a way for teachers to get their certification education. It's a way for paraprofessionals and other non-certified staff to get the training they need. I know we host a food service workshop every month, and what's really cool is more and more of those are actually shifting to an online model. So we can provide some of the information and some of the some of the background info and some of the tech support, but they can actually attend those right from their school. They don't have to come to the education center necessarily. So we still play a role, even though they're not directly, they may not be directly using certain services. We still play a role in helping them get that professional development that they need.
Yeah, most people don't know it, but if it wasn't for the service agencies, they pretty much perfected distance learning. They were the ones that actually helped bring it
Yeah.
into most areas, especially here in Arkansas. Distance learning started first here,
Yep.
and that's how they still provide the services, is through the distance learning advantage that they have of providing that remotely. What else is really interesting is that the move that the service agencies are taking to become entrepreneurial and providing for themselves in the event that funding from federal and state starts to disappear. And I think we'll see more and more services provided for schools from educational service agencies, and their role will take on a whole new meaning and a whole new uh, uh, I completely just lost the word I was looking for, but a whole new meaning and a whole new purpose. That's what it was. But yeah, AESA was great. We want to thank the the Association of Educational Service Agencies for having us. We hope to be back next year. We want to thank for them letting us do that little quick fire TED Talk type 15-minute deal, which is a lot of fun. Big shout out to Kevin Honeycutt and Brad Wade, who we got to go before, and that was a hoot. And those guys are always a lot of fun. That whole session was really, really great. But you're listening to EduTech Guys, and one of the cool things is that you can always be our guest.
Do you share a passion for education and technology? Be our guest on an upcoming show. It's easy. Just reach out to us on Twitter at EduTechGuys. We'd love to talk to you about education, technology, and what you're doing to help make a difference. That's at EduTechGuys on Twitter. Come be our guest. We'd love to.
Hey, remember, you can be our guest anytime you want to. Just follow us at www.twitter.com/edutechguys or Facebook/edutechguys. Heck, just go to Google, type in EduTechGuys, and you're going to find us. You can always go to our website, www.edutechguys.com. Drop down to the bottom of the page where you will find the contact form, and you can fill it out and get in touch with us and let us know if you'd like to be on the show.
Exactly. Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
Love to have you.
The other thing we'd love to do is grab some more sponsors. If you'd love to sponsor the EduTech Guys, we are at conferences and workshops all over the United States.
Yep.
So you can sponsor us and get your word out about your service, your educational software, your educational services that you provide. Sponsorship is a really great deal with us.
Hey, are you looking for a fun way to market your brand? Head over to www.edutechguys.com and reach out to us about partnerships and sponsorships and ways to get your information out to our listeners. That's www.edutechguys.com.
Hey, thanks for listening to our commercials. We'd like to throw those in there. That last one, we do have the tag of on our sheet that says "sponsor us for the love of God." So no, we're always looking for more sponsorship, which lets us take our message out there to some other great places. Messages a lot like the Arkansas School Coding Championship. This week is the coding week. It's computer science
week. Yeah.
And so we got a lot of schools around the nation doing all kinds of cool computer science stuff. Anthony Owen and his office, in conjunction with the governor, Asa Hutchinson's office, put together this Arkansas School Coding Championship. Kind of an all region of school coding. If you ever went to Van, you remember going to all region. And if you made all region, then you got to go to all state. Well, guess what? They had it. It was the beginning of this week, and 16 teams will be invited to participate in the all-state competition taking place this next spring.
Yeah. Let's see, how do I want to say this? The governor announced the other day the two winning teams from each of the 8 all-region coding competition events. Those events actually took place last month in November at 8 regional locations around the state. Southwest Co-op was one of those locations. And then, so they have all of these competitions at these 8 sites, 2 teams from each site. So the 16 selected teams will receive an invitation to participate in the first annual Governor's All-State Coding Competition, and that'll take place in Central Arkansas in the spring. Each member of the first place team will get a $2,000 award that will be deposited into a college savings plan. And each member of the second place team will each get a $1,000 award deposited into a college savings plan, with each member of the third place team getting a $500 award into a college savings plan. Plus, the school that produces the competition's winning team also will get a technology award of up to $20,000.
That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of stuff.
It's
a lot of money.
A lot of stuff.
That's a lot of incentive to get out there and learn coding. Hey, what the cool part is, sorry, I was reading something at the same time. Jeff just learned he can't talk and read. David and I are fighting colds and reading issues. So here we go. The following teams, these are the ones that have been selected. We're just going to read off the schools. We're not going to read off the actual team members.
Yeah.
But we'll read off the schools and the sponsoring educational cooperative in the state. Archford's Education Service Cooperative had 2 winners, Conway High School and Conway High School. So they had 2 teams, each from the Conway High School that just whooped up at Archford.
I guess so. And then Arkansas River Education Service Cooperative, their 2 teams were Hamburg High School and Star City High School.
Dawson Education Service Cooperative had the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts, and another team from the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. Both were sponsored by the same teacher.
Yeah, wow, man. In the North Central Education Service Cooperative, Eureka Springs High School and Lead Hill High School.
In the Northeast Education Service Cooperative, it was Manila High School and Paragould High School.
Awesome, man. At the Northwest Education Service Cooperative, and just to take a breather here for a moment, there are 13 education service centers in the state, so it's a list. Anyway, at the Northwest Education Service Cooperative, Bentonville High School and Springdale Harbor High School.
That was it. Southwest Educational Service Cooperative. That's here. That's where we're sitting right now. It was Arkansas High School in Texarkana and Nevada High School.
Awesome. In Central Arkansas, hosted at Hall High School in Little Rock, Central High School in Little Rock, and North Little Rock High School each had winners.
Yeah, that's that. So there's the teams that are going on to the state competition, which is a pretty good deal. Governor Hutchinson and the ADE extended their congratulations to the advancing team members, their sponsors, and the school and schools. In addition, all 8 hosting locations were commended for their work and the work of their staff in making the regional event successful and fun for students. Governor Hutchinson released the following statement.
Quote, "Congratulations to the 16 teams advancing to the first annual Governor's All-State Coding Competition. Dozens of students from across Arkansas have demonstrated exceptional computer science and coding skills in the all-region coding competition. And I look forward to seeing even more of the students' coding creativity and ingenuity as they compete in the upcoming All-State Coding Competition." That was a quote from Governor Hutchinson.
Yeah, the date for the actual all-state coding competition has not been set yet, but the teams will get lucky and will receive an invitation with details by February the 28th. And then once we find that information, we'll put it out there so that if you want to go to the all-state coding competition,
that'd be cool.
Cheer on your team or all that good stuff, and it can happen. Got to give it to the governor's office. They set forth to do this, and Anthony Owen. They set forth to make this happen. I believe this was the brainchild of Anthony Owen, this all-region event and all-state event. They set forth to do it, and by gosh, they did it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Sounds like they have the funding in place to make it happen.
Yep. Well, it's great when you can find, and I have no idea who's backing it, but it's great when you can find backing, whether that is support from legislators or there is some corporate backing, whatever it is. It's awesome opportunity for the students, and what a great thing for the state of Arkansas in general. I mean, that is awesome. You can also follow along with the hashtag ARKIDSCANCODE. That's AR Kids Can Code.
Yeah.
Hashtag on Twitter.
Yeah, got to check it out. Hey, listen, we're going to jump out and take a quick break. We're going to listen to a little music. We played this group right before Thanksgiving. We're going to play them again. This is the group called The International. Sweet. And this is their song. They're featuring Amy Stroop. And this is their song this year. Has a little bit of holiday to it. Take a listen. We'll be right back with some more EduTech Guys Radio right after this.
for you and me. I just really want you here with me. I just really want you here with me. This year I strung a million lights and hung them more than night. Oh, did you see them shine? Oh, could you see them shining? Hush now, my love is staying. Sleep well, tomorrow's waiting to greet the holiday that brings us back again. I just really want you here with me. Yeah, I just really want you here with me. Yeah, I just really want you here with me. This year, this year, I just really want you here with me. Yeah, I just really want you here with me. This year, I sing the last refrain through frosted window pane. I swore I saw your face. You finally found your way.
Hey, that was The International with This Year. What a great song. It's just a really pretty song. I hope you like it. Kind of get you ready in the mood for the holidays.
Well, and if you are an independent musician or you know one, you hang out with one, and you'd like us to feature their music, head over to edutechguys.com, scroll to the bottom of the page there, fill out that form, let us know who you are or who they are, and we'll reach out and handle the legalities behind the scenes, and then hopefully get the music on the air. We'd love to feature some more artists here on the show.
Love to do it. And you know, if you wanted to catch another platform and you had some time to listen to us, hey, David, what would be another way they could listen to
Well, Jeff, another way they could listen to us. Yeah, if you, we've got a new thing that we've been trying for a little while, and actually, the good Doc Nate has been doing an amazing job helping us get this launched and get content out there. But you can head over to youtube.com/EduTechGuys, and you can find some of our old shows. And one of the things that the good Doc is working on now is taking the interviews from the AESA conference that we just came from, breaking those up into their individual segments and putting each one of those out as a YouTube video that you can listen to. I know that sounds a little weird. YouTube you can listen to, but that's really what it amounts to.
Yeah, a lot of people actually use YouTube to listen to music and interviews and things like that.
Well, that's what I mean. I actually I listen to YouTube in my car on the way home.
Yeah.
I'll bring up a video that I want to watch, and I'll let it play in the background while I'm driving down the road without watching it, which is sometimes a little hard, but
And if you like watching us or want to see us, then I'm going to give you a really great place to see us. That'll be the Future of Education Technology Conference in January. That's January the 24th through the 27th next year, 2017, right around the corner. Can you believe it? That's in Orlando, Florida. FETSI is right around the corner. one of the largest educational technology conferences that in the world, and it's happening right there in beautiful Orlando at the Orlando Convention Center.
Yeah, the Orange
County Convention,
yeah.
the biggest one. That's one of the largest in the country.
It's huge. It's gonna be huge.
Small hands you have, David. So listen, you know what time it is. It is, well, this ought to be great with Captain Cold over here.
Captain Cold over here. The Google tip of the week.
It's time for the Google tip of the week. Hey, I'm going to let you. One of David's good friends actually gave us to this, and I'll drop it over to David.
Yeah, man. Major kudos to Mark Aubrey, who suggested this particular Google tip of the week. And this is coding with Santa. And the one he specifically suggested is the code boogie. And we will tweet that out to you here in a moment. But you can also go to Santa Tracker, all one word, santatracker.google.com, and they actually have something of an advent calendar where each day a new cool interactive activity is released. And so they have Code Boogie. They have, I tried one that had something to do with a penguin skating down or sliding on his belly or something. I didn't do too
I thought you were
well
going to say
with
a
that.
penguin, a priest, and a mule walk into a bar.
Yeah. No, it's not that kind of site.
Okay.
No, but so santatracker.google.com. The one that Mark specifically shared with us, that Code Boogie, there are two elves on the screen, and one of them makes certain moves, and then whoever's there, whether you or your student, your child, whoever, drags the code into place, and then you try to mimic what the other elf did. It's kind of like a modern day version of Simon, really. Yeah. And then once you successfully do it, then you can get into freestyle, and you can make the elf dance the way you want
dancing.
to. It is freestyle.
So there it is. That's the Google tip of the week, and it's right here for the holiday season. We'll have another holiday season Google tip of the week maybe next week or not. Just depends.
You know what? You'll know when we know.
That's right. We like to keep it. That actually comes to us from the home office in Sacramento, and they ship it in.
That's right. They keep it under wraps.
5 minutes before the show. Yeah, we don't know what it's going to be until 5 minutes before the show. So it's snuck in.
That is hilarious. Oh my God.
Cool. Hey, listen, it's been a great show. I know it's a little shorter, but we've always been kind of going for a little shorter show to keep you interested in finding out what's going on. Hey, follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/EduTechGuys, EduTechGuys. You can see what's going on with us and what we like to talk about and what we like to follow. Also, stay in tune with us on the web at www.edutechguys.com. Some new stuff coming in the new year, a Patreon site and a new member site that will be coming with lots and lots of fodder for the followers. So you definitely want to keep us on your radar.
Yep. Lots of behind the scenes content and exclusive content and kind of, I guess, what's the word? Maybe advance notice content. You'll be aware of things that we're doing that other folks won't be aware of at that same time. So you get exclusive access to some of the cool stuff we're doing. And I'm going to say this, and Jeff probably wishes that I wouldn't. But the good doc said that all of day one for the AESA 2016 conference is up on YouTube, and he is going to put them in a playlist, tweet it out tomorrow, so you'll be able to hop over to the YouTube channel and click the playlist. If you play it and you're not grooving or smiling, then he says you just don't have a soul. and to the extent of the advance notice and exclusive content, he makes a very good point. There's a good chance that if you sign up for that exclusive advance notice content, you'll know what we're doing before we know what we're doing.
I'm pretty much sure that's going to be the exact truth right there. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what will happen.
I think that's pretty much what we've been doing for like a year and a half.
Hey, so don't forget to check the YouTube channel, youtube.com/EduTechGuys. Day one of AESA is up on there, so you can listen to it. As we get time, we'll start to podcast those out individually. It takes a lot of time to edit those down and cut them out, especially when you've got all this other good stuff going on. Hey, hope you're having a wonderful week. Christmas is right around the corner. I hope you're in a great mood and you're having a wonderful life. Hey, I'm Jeff Madlock.
I'm David Henderson.
And you know what? We'll catch you next time on EduTech Guys Radio.
You've been listening to EduTech Guys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on this site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.